Oh, for a muse of fire that would ascend the brightest heaven of invention, a kingdom for a stage, princes to act, and monarchs to behold the swelling scene. Then would the warlike Harry, like himself, assume the port of Mars, and at his heels, leashed in like hounds, would famine, sword, and fire crouch for employment. But pardon, gentles all, the flat, unraised spirits that hath dared on this unworthy scaffold to bring forth so great an object. Can this cockpit hold the vasty fields of France? Or can we cram within this wooden o the very casks that did affright the air at Agincourt? Oh, pardon. So, let us, partners in this great account, on your imaginary forces work. For 'tis your thoughts that now must deck our kings, carry them here and there, jumping o'er times, and turning the accomplishment of many years into an hourglass. For the which supply, admit me, chorus to this history, who prologue like your humble patience pray, gently to hear, kindly to judge our play.
I tell you, that self-bill is urged, which in the 11th year of the last king's reign was like to have passed against us. Well, if it pass against us, we lose the better half of our possession. Well, what prevention? Doth the king incline to it or no? The king is full of grace and fair regard, and a true lover of holy church. The courses of his youth promised it not, since his addiction was to courses vain, his hours spent in banquets, riots, sports, and never noted in him any study. How now for mitigation of this bill, urged by the Commons? Doth the king incline to it, or no? He seems indifferent, or rather swaying more upon our part, for I have made an offer to his majesty as touching France.
What a comely wench she is!
I'll take no one back to my chamber!
That's your wench! But gunshot!
Chamber!
Gracious Lord of Canterbury!
God and his angels guard your sacred throne and make you long become it.
Sure, we thank you. My learned lord, we pray you to proceed and justly and religiously unfold why the lords sail it that they have in France, or should not bar us in our claim. And pray, take heed how you impawn our person, how you awake our sleeping sword of war. We charge you in the name of God, take heed. For never two such countries did contend, without much fall of blood.
And hear me, gracious sovereign. There is no bar to make against your highness' claim to France, but this, which they produce from Pharamond. In terram saelicam, mulieris ne succeedent. No woman shall succeed in Salic land. Which Salic land the French unjustly gloze to be a realm of France. Yet their own authors faithfully affirm that the land Salic lies in Germany, between the floods of Saler and of Elbe. Then doth it well appear this Salic law was not devised for the realm of France, nor did the French possess the Salic land until 124 years after the defunction of King Pharamond, idly supposed to be the founder of this law.
The Salic law...
King Pepin, who deposed Child Eric, did as heir general, being descended of Blithild, which was the daughter of King Clothair, make claim and title to the crown of France. Hugh Capet also, who usurped the crown of Charles, Duke of Lorraine, sole heir male to the true line and stock of Charles the Great, could not keep quiet in his conscience wearing the crown of France, till satisfied that fair Queen Isabel, his grandmother, was lineal of the Lady Ermengarde, daughter to Charles the aforesaid Duke of Lorraine, and by the which marriage the line of Charles the Great was reunited to the crown of France. Clear as this is summer sun. Well, all do appear to hold in right and title of the female. So do the kings of France unto this day, howbeit they would hold up this Salic law to bar your highness claiming from the female.
May I with right and conscience make this claim?
The sin be upon my head, great sovereign. Stand for your own. Unwind your bloody flag.
Your brother kings and monarchs of the earth all expected you should rouse yourself, as did the former lions of your blood.
Never a king of England had nobles richer and more loyal subjects whose hearts have left their bodies here in England, unlike pavilioned in fields of France.
Oh, let their bodies follow, my dear liege, with blood and sword and fire to win your right. In aid whereof, we of the spirituality will raise your highness such a mighty sum as never did the clergy at one time bring into any of your ancestors.
Send in the messenger sent from the Dauphin. Now are we well resolved, and with God's help and yours, the noble sinews of our power, France being ours, will bend it to our oar, or break it all to pieces. Now are we well prepared to hear the pleasure of our fair cousin Dauphin.
Your Highness, lately sending into France, did claim some certain ducoms in the right of your great predecessor, King Edward III. In answer of which claim, the prince, my master, says that you savor too much of your youth. He therefore sends you meter for your spirit, this ton of treasure. And in lieu of this, he therefore desires that the ducoms which you claim, he no more of you. This, the Dauphin speaks.
What treasure, uncle?
Tennis balls, my liege.
We're glad the Dauphin is so pleasant with us. His present and your pains we thank him for. When we have matched our rackets to these balls, we will in France by God's grace play a set. Shall strike his father's crown into the hand. And we understand him well how he comes on us with our wilder days. Not measuring what use we made of them. Tell the Dauphin I shall keep my state. Be like a king and show my sail of greatness when I do rouse me in my throne of France. And tell the pleasant prince, this mock of his hath turned his balls to gunstones, and his soul shall stand sore charged for the wasteful vengeance that shall fly with them. For many 1,000 widows will this his mock out of their dear husbands, mock mothers down, mock castles down, and some are yet ungotten and unborn, that have cause to curse the Dauphin's scorn. So get you hence in peace, and tell the Dauphin, this jest of his shall savour but a shallow wit, when thousands weep more than did laugh at it. Convey them with safe conduct. Fare you well.
This was a merry message.
We hope to make the sender blush at it. Therefore, my lords, omit no happy hour that might give furtherance to our expedition. We now have no thought in us but France, save those to God that go before our business. Therefore, let every man now task his thought, that this fair action may on foot be brought.
Now all the youth of England are on fire, for now sits expectation in the air, and hides a sword from hilts unto the point, with crowns imperial, crowns and coronets promised to Harry and his followers.
Well met, Corporal Nim.
Good morrow, Lieutenant Bardolph.
Are you an ancient pistol? Friends yet?
For my part, I care not, and I say little. When time shall serve, there'll be smiles. That shall be as it may.
Well, let me bestow on you a hearty breakfast to make you friends. And then we'll all be 3 sworn brothers to France. What say you, good Corporal Nim?
I will do as I may!
Tis certain. Ancient Pistol's married to Nell Quickly, and certainly she did you wrong, because you were betrothed to her.
How now, mine host?
Base, tyke. Call'st thou me host? By this hand I swear I scorn the term. And nor shall mine keep lodgers.
Nah, by my troth, not long. For we cannot board or lodge a dozen or 14 gentlewomen, but live honestly by the prick of their needles. Or each we thought we'd keep a baldy house straight.
Piss, you sluts! Piss to thee, Iceland dog.
Good Corporal Nim, show thy valour, put up thy sword.
Will you shut up?
Hey!
Pistol, I would prick your guts in good time. That's the humour.
Brag on vile!
Hear what I say? He who makes the first stroke, I'll run him to the hilts, as I am a soldier.
Tis an oath of Michaelmite. Fury shall abate.
My name's Pistol. You must come to my master. And you, hostess, for he is very ill and would to bed. Good Bardolph, put thy face between his sheets and do the office of a warming pan.
Wait, you rogue!
Faith, he is very ill.
By my troth, the king has killed his heart. Sweet husband, come in presently.
Come, I will make you two friends. Then we'll all to France together. Why the devil should we keep knives to slit one another's throats?
You'll pay me the 8 shillings I won at you a betting.
Oh, base is the slave that pays.
Wait! He that makes the first thrust. Oh! Kill him by the sword! I will!
If ever you come of women, come in quickly to Sir John. He's so shaked up with a burning quotidian fever that he's most lamentable to behold. Sweet men, come to him.
Poor Sir John. A good poorly man, in faith.
The king has run bad humours on the night.
Nim, now I spoke the right. His art is fracted and corroborate.
The king is a good king, but he passes some humours and carers.
Come, let us condole a night. For lambkins, we will live.
The French, advised by good intelligence of this most dreadful preparation, quake in their fear, and with pale policy seek to divert the English purposes. O England, model to thy inward greatness, like little body with a mighty heart, what mightst thou do, that honour would thou do, if all thy children were kind and natural? But see thy fault. France hath in thee found out a nest of hollow bosom, which he fills with treacherous crowns, and 3 corrupted men, one Richard, Earl of Cambridge, and the second, Henry, Lord Scroop of Masham, and the third, Sir Thomas Grey, Knight of Northumberland, have for the guilt of France. Oh, guilt indeed! Confirmed conspiracy with fearful France. And by their hands this grace of kings shall die ere he take ship for France. Traitors are agreed. The king is set from London, and the scene is now transported, gentles, to Southampton.
For God! His Grace is brave to trust those traitors.
They shall be apprehended by and by.
Smooth and even they do bear themselves, as if allegiance in their bosom sat, crowned with faith and constant loyalty. The king hath full note of all they intend, by intercessions they dream not of.
Nay, but the man that was his bedfellow, who he hath dulled and cloyed with gracious favour, that he should, for a foreign purse, so sell our sovereign's life to death and treachery.
Now sits the wind fair, and we will aboard. My Lord of Cambridge, and you, my gentle knight, give me your thoughts. Think you not that the powers we bear with us will cut their passage through the force of France?
No doubt, my liege, if each man do his best.
I doubt not that.
Never was monarch better feared and loved than is your majesty.
True.
We therefore have great cause for thankfulness. Uncle of Exeter, enlarge that man committed yesterday, that railed against our person. We consider it was excess of wine that set him on, and on his more advice we pardon.
That's mercy, but too much security. Let him be punished, sovereign, lest example breed by his sufferance. More of such a kind.
Oh, let us yet be merciful.
So may your highness, and yet punish too.
Sir, you show great mercy if you give him life after the taste of much correction.
Alas, you're too much love and care of me. A heavy orison's upon this poor wretch. If little faults proceeding on distemper shall not be winked at, how will we stretch our eye when capital crimes, chewed, swallowed and digested, appear before us? We'll yet enlarge that man, though Cambridge, Scroop and Grey, in their dear care and tender preservation of our person, would have him punished. And now to our French causes. Who are the late commissioners?
I, one, my lord. Your highness bade me ask for it today.
So did you me, my liege?
And I, my royal sovereign.
Then, Richard, Earl of Cambridge, there is yours. There yours, Lord Scroop of Messam, and Sir Knight, Grey of Northumberland, this same is yours. Read them, and know I know your worthiness. My Lord of Westmoreland, Uncle of Exeter, we will aboard tonight. Why? How now, gentlemen? What see you in those papers that you lose so much complexion?
I do confess my fault, and do submit me to your highness's mercy.
To which we all appeal.
The mercy that was quickened us of late by your own counsel is suppressed and killed. Dare for shame to talk of mercy. For your own reasons, returning to your bosom was worrying you. See you, my princes and my noble peers, these English monsters. And what shall I say to thee, Lord Scroop? Thou cruel, ingrateful, savage and inhuman creature. Thou that didst bear the key to all my counsels, that knewest the very bottom of my soul, may it be possible that foreign hire might out of thee extract one spark of evil that might annoy my finger? 'Tis so strange that though the proof of it stand off as gross as black on white, mine eye would scarcely see it. So constant and unspotted didst thou seem, that this thy fall hath left a kind of blot to mark the full thwart man, and best endued with some suspicion. I will weep for thee, for this revolt of thine, methinks, is like another fall of man.
Richard, Earl of Cambridge, I arrest thee of high treason. Thomas Grey, Knight of Northumberland, I arrest thee of high treason. And Lord Scroop, I arrest thee of high treason.
Hear your sentence. You have conspired against our royal person, joined with an enemy proclaimed and fixed, and from his coffers received the golden earnest of our death, wherein you would have sold your king to slaughter, his princes and his peers to servitude, his subjects to oppression and contempt, and his whole kingdom into desolation. Get you therefore hence, poor miserable wretches, to thy deaths. the taste whereof, God of his mercy, give you patience to endure, and true repentance of all your dear offences. Bear them hence. Now, lords, for France, the enterprise whereof shall be to you as us like glorious. Since God so graciously hath brought to light this dangerous treason lurking in our way, cheerly to see the signs of war advance. No King of England, if not King of France.
Pretty, honey, sweet husband, let me bring thee to Staines.
No. Though my manly heart doth yearn. Bardolph, be blithe. Nib, rustle up thy voiding veins. Boy, bristle thy courage up. For Falstaff is dead, and we must earn therefore.
Would so either with him, be in heaven or in hell?
Nay, sure he's not in hell. He's in Arthur's bosom. If ever a man went to Arthur's bosom, he made a finer end and went away, and it had been any Christian child. He passed even between 12 and 1, even at the turning of the tide. For after I saw him fumble with the sheets and play with flowers and smile upon his fingers' ends, I knew there was but one way. For his nose was as sharp as a pen, and he babbled of green fields. How now, Sir John, quoth I, what man be a good cheer? So he cried out, God, 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 3 or 4 times. And I had to comfort him, bid him he should not think of God. I hoped he had no need to trouble himself with any such thoughts yet. He bade me put more clothes on his feet. I put my hand under the bed and felt them, and they were as cold as any stone. Then I felt up to his knees, and so upwards, and all was as cold as any stone.
They say he cried out for sack.
That he did.
And for women.
Nay, that he did not.
Yes, they did. He said, we are the devils incarnate.
I could never abide carnation. 'Twas a colour he never liked much.
He said that the devil would have him about women.
He did in some sort handle women. But then he was rheumatic and talked of the awe of Babylon.
Do you remember? He saw a flea stick upon Bardolph's nose. And he said that was a black soul burning into hell.
Yeah, well, the fuel's gone out that maintained that particular fire.
Shall we, Shog? The king will be gone from Southampton.
Mine hostess.
I cannot kiss thee. That's the humour of it. How do you?
Come. They're good housewifery up here. Keep close. By thee command.
Farewell.
Follow, follow, for who is he whose chin is but enriched with one appearing hair? That will not follow these culled and choice-drawn cavaliers to France.
Thus comes the English, with full power upon us, and more than carefully it us concerns to answer royally in our defences. Therefore the Dukes of Berry, and of Breton, of Brabant, and of Orleans shall make forth to line and new repair our towns of war with men of courage and with means defendant. For England his approaches makes us fierce as waters to the sucking of a gulf. It fits us then to be as provident as fear may teach us out of late examples left by the fatal and neglected English upon our fields. And you, Prince Dauphin?
My most redoubted father, it is most meet we arm us against the foe. For peace itself should not so dull a kingdom, but the defences, musters, preparations should be maintained, assembled and collected as were a war in expectation. Therefore, I say 'tis meet we all go forth to view the sick and feeble parts of France, and let us do it with no show of fear. No, with no more than if we heard that England were busied with a Whitsun Morris dance. For, my good liege, she is so idly kinged by a vain, giddy, shallow, humorous youth that fear attends her not.
And peace, Prince Dauphin! You're too much mistaken in this king. I question your grace, the late ambassadors, with what great state he heard their embassy, how well supplied with noble counsellors, how modest in exception, and withal, how terrible in constant resolution.
Well, 'tis not so, my Lord High Constable, but, though we think it so, it is no matter. In cases of defence, 'tis best to weigh the enemy more mighty than he seems.
Think we, King Harry Strong, and princes, look you strongly armed to meet him, for he is bred out of that bloody strain that haunted us in our familiar paths. Witness our too much memorable shame, when Cressy battle fatally was struck, and all our princes captive by the hand of that black name, Edward, Black Prince of Wales. This is a stem of that victorious stock, and let us fear the native mightiness and fate of him.
Ambassadors from Harry, King of England, do crave admittance to your majesty.
We will give them present audience. Go and bring them. You see, this case is hotly followed, friends.
Good, my sovereign. Take up the English short, and let them know of what a monarchy you are the head. Self-love, my liege, is not so vile a sin as self-neglecting.
From our brother, England.
From him. And thus he greets your majesty. He wills you, in the name of God Almighty, that you divest yourself and lay apart the borrowed glories that by law of nature and of nations belongs to him and to his heirs, namely, the crown, willing you overlook this pedigree. And when you find him evenly derived from his most famous and famed ancestors, Edward III, he bids you then resign your crown and kingdom indirectly held from him, the native and true challenger.
Or else, what follows?
Bloody constraint. For if you hide the crown, even there in your heart will he rake for it. Therefore, in fierce tempest is he coming, in thunder, and in earthquake like a Jove, that if requiring fail, he will compel. This is his threatening and my message. Unless, of course, the Dolphin be here, to whom expressly I bring greeting too.
For the Dauphin, I stand here for him. What to him from England?
Scorn and defiance. Slight regard, contempt, and anything that might not misbecome the mighty sender doth he prize you at. Thus says my king.
Say, if my father render fair return, it is against my will, for I desire nothing but odds with England. And to that end, as matching to his youth and vanity, I did present him with the Paris balls.
Well, I'll make your Paris room shake for it. And be assured, you'll find a difference between the promise of his greener days and these he masters now.
For us, we will consider of this matter further. Tomorrow shall you bear our mind in full back to our brother England.
Thus, with imagined wing, our swift scene flies with no less celerity than that of thought. Work your thoughts, and therein see a siege. Behold, the ordnance on their carriages, with fatal mouths gaping on girded Harfleur. Suppose the ambassador from the French comes back, tells Harry that the king doth offer him Catherine, his daughter, and for dowry some petty and unprofitable dukedoms. The officer likes him not, and the nimble gunner with linstock now the devilish cannon touches, and down goes all before them.
Once more! Enter the breach, dear friends! Once more! I'll close the wall up with our English dead! In peace, nothing so becomes a man as modest stillness and humility. But when the blast of war blows in our ears, then imitate the action of a tiger. Stiffen the sinews, summon up the blood, disguise fair nature with hard-favoured rage. Then, lend the eye a terrible aspect. Let it pry through the portage of the head. Like the brass cannon, let the brow o'erwhelm it, as fearfully as doth the galled rock o'erhang and jutty its confounded base, swilled with the wild and wasteful oceans. Then set the teeth and stretch the nostril wide. Hold hard the breath and bend up every spirit to its full height. On, you noblest English! Dishonour not your mothers. Now attest, those men that you called fathers did beget you. And you, good yeoman, whose limbs were made in England, let us swear that you are worth your breeding, which I doubt not. I see you stand like greyhounds in the slips, straining upon the start. The game's afoot. Follow your spirits, and upon this charge, cry, God for Harry, England, and St. George!
On to the bridge! Billy Corporal, stay! I've got a case of lies, and that's the plain song of it. The plain song is most just, but humours do abound. Would I were in an alehouse in London, I would give up all my fame for a jug of ale and safety. Up to the breach, you dogs! I'll be merciful. A fortune, Collier! I'll be merciful. Great Duke to me. Move it! Mole! Get your lump of fella! Move it! Move! Who's let us in, sweet John?
As young as I am boy. To them, all three. For Bardolph, he is white-livered and red-faced. By the means wherefore I faced it out, but fights not. For Pistol, he has a killing tongue, but a quiet sword. For Nym, he hath heard that men of few words are the best men. Therefore, he scorns to say his prayers, lest are thought to be a coward. But his few bad words are matched with as few good deeds. For I never broke another man's head but his own. I must leave them in search of a better service.
Captain Llewellyn, you must come presently to the mines. The Duke of Gloucester would speak with you.
But tell you the Joker is not so good to come to the mines. But look you, the mines are not according to the disciplines of the war. By jeez, you, I think he will blow up all if there is not better directions.
The Duke of Gloucester, to whom the order of the siege is given, is altogether directed by an Irishman.
It's Captain MacMorris, is it not?
I think it be.
By jeez, he is an ass in the world. He's no better directions in the disciplines of the war than is a puppy dog.
Here it comes. And the Scots captain, Captain Jamie, with him.
Ah, now, Captain Jamie is a marvellous, valorous gentleman, that is certain.
Hey, you, Captain Llewellyn here.
Good day to your worship, good Captain Jamie.
How now? Captain MacMorris, have you quit the mines? Have the pioneers given all?
By Chrysler, the work is given over. By my hand, the little's done.
Captain MacMorris, I beseech you now. A few disputations is partly touching the disciplines of the wars, partly to satisfy my opinion, and partly to the satisfaction of my mind as touching the directions of the military discipline. That is the point.
There's no time for discourse. The town is besieged. The trumpet calls us to the breach. And by Christ, we talk, and we do nothing.
Wait a minute, sir. Before I do anything here, before I lie on the ground, do my fame, do slumber. What are you looking at, eh?
But Captain MacMorris, I think, now look you, upon your correction, there is not many of your nation who could be said to be worth a fight.
My nation? Who talks of my nation is a villain, and a knave, and a bastard, and a villain.
Well, look you, if you have nothing more to say, peradventure, Captain MacMorris, I would think it that you are not using me with that affectation and disposition that you ought to, so look you, being as good a man as yourself.
I've never known a good as man, Llewellyn, and Christ save me. One day I'll cut off your friggin' head.
How yet presumes the governor of the town? This is the latest parle, we will admit. Therefore, to our best mercy give yourselves, or like to men proud of destruction, defy us to our worst. For as I am a soldier, I will not begin the battle again, unless I leave the half-achieved Harfleur till in our ashes she lie buried. Therefore, you men of Harfleur, take pity of your town and of your people, whilst yet the cool and temperate winds of grace blow the filthy and contagious clouds of heady murder, spoil and villainy. If not, then in a moment look to see the blind and bloody soldier with foul hand defile the looks of your shrill-seeking daughters. Your fathers taken by their silver beards and their most reverend heads dashed to the walls. Your naked infants spitted upon pikes, whilst the mad mothers, with their howls confused, do break the clouds. What say you? Will you yield and this avoid, or guilty in defence be thus destroyed?
Our expectations this day hath come to an end. The Dauphin, of whose succour we entreated, returns us that his powers are not yet ready to resist so great a siege. Therefore, Rage King, we yield our town and our lives to thy soft mercy. Enter our gates, dispose of us and ours, for we no longer are defensible.
Go you and enter Harfleur. There remain and fortify it strongly against the French. Use mercy to them all.
Allô, madame?
Alors.
Ouais.
Oh.
Pardon, madame.
Oh.
Pardon.
Alors?
Allô? Oh. Allô? Allô?
Oui. Oh, oh, badminton. Alice, tu es Angleterre et tu parles bien le langage.
Un peu, madame.
Je te prie, monseigneur, il faut que je pense parler. Comment appelez-vous les mains en anglais?
Les mains? Elle est appelée the hand.
The hand.
Oui.
Et les doigts?
Les doigts? Ma foi, j'oubliais les doigts. Mais je me souviendrai. Les doigts, qu'ils sont appelés... de fingers. Oui, de fingers.
The fingers. Les mains, the hand, et les doigts, the fingers. Je pense que je suis le bon collier. Il gagne de mots anglais vitement. Comment appelez-vous les ongles?
Les ongles? Oh, nous les appelons the nails.
The nails.
Oui.
Écoutez, dites-moi si j'ai parlé bien. The hand, the fingers, et the nails.
C'est bien dit, madame. Il faut bon anglais.
Dites-moi l'anglais pour le bras.
Le bras. The arm, madame.
Et le coude?
The elbow.
The elbow.
Oui.
Je m'en fais la répétition de tout le mot que vous m'avez appris dès à présent.
Oh, il est trop difficile, madame, comme je pense.
Excusez-moi, Alice. Écoutez. The hand, the fingers, the nails, the arm, the elbow.
The elbow, madame.
Oh, Seigneur Dieu, je m'oublie. The elbow. Comment appelez-vous les cols?
The neck, madame.
The neck.
Oui.
Et le menton?
The chin.
The chin. Le col, the neck. Et le menton, the chin.
Oui, soit faute en vérité, vous prononcez moi aussi, tu crois, les natives d'Angleterre.
Je ne doute point d'en prendre par la grâce de Dieu un peu de temps.
Oh, n'avez-vous déjà oublié ce que je vous enseignais?
Non, je réciterai à vous promptement. The hand, the fingers, the nails.
The nails, madame.
The nails, madame. The arm, the elbow.
Soit faute en the elbow.
On s'y dit, d'elbow. The neck et the chin. Comment appelez-vous le pied et la robe?
The foot, madame, et la cône.
The foot et le cône?
Oh, madame, pardon, je suis très désolée.
Ce mauvais gros bible, gros et impudique, et non pour les dames d'un air d'user. Je ne voudrais prononcer ces mots devant le Seigneur de France pour tous les mots. Les foot et les cônes? Néanmoins, je réciterai une autre fois ma leçon ensemble. Oui. The hand, the fingers, the nails, the arm, the elbow, the elbow, the neck, the chin, the foot et the cône.
Excellent, madame.
"'Tis certain he has passed the river Somme.
And if he be not fought with all, my lord, then let us not live in France.
Normans, but bastard Normans. Norman bastards.
Have they this metal? Is not their climate foggy, raw and dull?
For the honour of our land.
By faith and honour, our madams mock at us and plainly say our metal is bred out, and they will give their bodies to the lust of English youth to new store France with bastard warriors.
Where is Montjoy, the herald? Speed him hence. Let him greet England with our sharp defiance, our princes, and with spirit of honour edge more sharper than your swords, high to the field. Bar Harry England, who sweeps through our land with pennons painted in the blood of Harfleur. Go down upon him, you have power enough, and in a captive chariot into Rouen, bring him our prisoner.
This becomes the great. Sorry I am their numbers are so few, their soldiers so sick and famished in their march, for I am sure, when they shall see our army, they'll drop their heart into the sink of fear, and for achievement offer us his ransom.
Therefore, Lord Constable, haste on Montjoy, and let him say to England that we send to know what willing ransom he will give. Prince Dauphin, you shall stay with us in Rouen.
Not so! I do beseech your majesty.
Be patient, for you shall remain with us. Now forth, Lord Constable, and princes all, and quickly bring us word of England's fall.
Captain Llewellyn, come you from the bridge? Is the Duke of Exeter safe?
He is not, God be praised and thanked, any hurt in the world, but keeps the bridge most valiantly and with excellent discipline.
Captain! I thee beseech to do me favours. The Duke of Exeter doth love thee well?
Aye, I praise God, I have merited some love at his hands.
Bardolph, a soldier firm and sound of heart, a buxom valour, hath by cruel fate and giddy fortune's furious fickle wheel, that goddess blind that
Touching your patience, Agent Pistol. Fortune is an excellent moral.
Oh, Fortune is Bardolph's foe and frowns on him. But he has stolen a little, Pax. But hanged must he be. Oh, damn it, death. Let earth gape for dog, but let man go free. And let not hemp his windpipe suffocate. Therefore, speak, the Duke will hear thy voice. Speak for his life, and I will thee requite.
Ancient Pistol, I think I do partly understand your meaning.
Why, then rejoice, therefore.
There is not a thing to rejoice at. But if, look you, he were mine own brother, I would desire that the Duke would do his good pleasure and put him to execution, for discipline ought to be used.
Oh, die and be damned? Well, a figo for our friendship.
Tis well.
Ah, the fig of Spain!
Very good.
Why, 'tis a gull, a fool, a rogue, that now and then goes to the wars to grace himself at his return into London, under the form of a soldier.
How now, Llewellyn? Come start from the bridge.
And it please your majesty, the Duke of Exeter has very gallantly maintained the bridge.
What man is he lost?
I think the Duke hath lost never a man, but one that is like to be executed for robbing a church. One Bardolph, if your majesty know the man. Well, his face is full of buckles and welts and knobs and flames of fire. And his lips blows at his nose, which is like a coal of fire, sometimes blue, sometimes red. But his nose is executed, and his fire's out.
We would have all such offenders so cut off. And we give express charge that in our marches through the country, nothing be compelled from any of the villages. Nothing taken but paid for. None of the French upbraided or abused in foul or disdainful language. For when lenity and cruelty play for a kingdom, the gentlest gamester is the soonest winner.
Thus says my king. Say thou to Harry, King of England, though we seem dead, we did but sleep. Tell him we could have rebuked him at our fleur. And now we speak on cue. Our voice is imperial, and England shall repent his follies. Bid him therefore consider his ransom, which must proportion the losses we have borne. To this a defiance, and for conclusion, tell him he hath betrayed his followers, whose condemnation is pronounced. So far my king and master, so much my office.
What is thy name?
Montjoy.
Thou dost thy office fairly. Turn thee back and tell the king I would not seek him now, but could be willing to march on to Calais without impeachment. Go therefore. Tell thy master, here I am. My ransom is this frail and worthless trunk. My army but a frail and worthless guard. But God before, tell him we will come on. The sum of all our answer is but this. We would not seek a battle as we are, nor as we are, we say we will not shun it. Go tell thy master.
I shall deliver so, thanks to your majesty.
I hope they don't come down on us now.
We're in God's hands, brother, not in theirs. March we to the bridge. It now draws towards night.
Now entertain conjecture of a time when creeping murmur and the pouring dark fills the wide vessel of the universe. From camp to camp, through the foul womb of night, the hum of either army stilly sounds, that the fixed sentinels almost receive the secret whispers of each other's watch. Fire answers fire, and through their paly frames each battle sees the other's umbered face. Steed threatens steed, with high and boastful neighs piercing the night's dull air, and from the tents the armourers, accomplishing the nights with busy hammers closing rivets up, give dreadful note of preparation. Proud of their names and secure in soul, the lusty and confident French do the low-rated English play at dice and chide the tardy, cripple-gated knight that like a foul and ugly witch doth limp so tediously away.
Lord Eye Constable, are they stars or suns upon your crest?
Stars, Orleans. Some of them will fall tomorrow. Or will it never be day? I will trot tomorrow a mile, and my way shall be paved with English faces.
Yeah, I should not say so, for fear I will be faced out of my way.
I'll go on myself.
The Dauphin longs for morning. He longs to eat the English.
I think he will eat all that he kills.
Oh, he never did harm that I heard of.
Nor will he do none tomorrow. Will it never be day? Alas, poor Harry. He longs not for the dawning as we do.
If the English had any apprehension, they would run away.
It's time to arm. Come. Shall we about it?
Let me see. It is now 2 o'clock. By 10, we shall each have 100 Englishmen.
The poor condemned English, like sacrifices by their watchful fires, sit patiently and inly ruminate the morning's danger. And their gestures sad, investing lank, lean cheeks and war-worn coats presenteth unto the gazing moon so many horrid ghosts. O now, who will behold the royal captain of this ruined band, walking from watch to watch, from tent to tent, let him cry praise and glory on his head. For forth he goes and visits all his host, bids them good morrow with a modest smile, calls them brothers, friends and countrymen, a largesse universal, like the sun his liberal eye doth give to everyone, thawing cold fear. That mean and gentle all behold, as may unworthiness define, a little touch of Harry in the night.
Good morrow, dear Caz. A good soft pillow were better than this churlish turf of France.
Not so, my niece. This lodging likes me better. And, may I say, now lie I like a king.
Lend me thy cloak, Westmoreland. Brothers both, commend me to the princes in our camp. Do my good morrow to them, and anon desire them all to my pavilion.
We shall, my liege. Will I attend your grace?
No, my good knight. Go with my brothers to my lords of England.
The Lord in heaven bless thee, noble Harry.
God a mercy, old heart. Thou speakest cheerfully. A friend.
Discuss unto me. Art thou officer? Or art thou base, common and popular?
I am a gentleman of a company.
Trailest thou the puissant pike?
Even so. And what are you?
I'm as good a man as the emperor.
Well, then you're a better man than the king.
No, the king's a boarcock with a heart of gold. A lad of life and an imp of fame. Of parents good and a fist most valiant. I kiss his dirty shoe. And from heartstring, I love the lovely bully. And what is thy name?
Harry. Leroy.
Is Leroy a Cornish name?
No, I'm a Welshman.
Knowest thou Llewellyn?
Aye.
Well, tell him I'll bash his leek about his pate on St David's Day.
You'd best not wear your dagger in your cap that day, lest he bash that about yours.
What? Art thou his friend?
And kinsman too.
Well, a figo for thee then.
I thank thee. God be with thee.
My name is Pistol Cord.
It sorts well with your fierceness.
Captain Llewellyn!
In the name of Jesus Christ, speak lower. If you take the pains to examine the wars of Pompey the Great, you'll find there are, warrant you, no tittle-tattle or pibble-pabble in Pompey's camp.
Why? The enemy is loud. You hear him all night.
If the enemy is an ass and a fool and a prating coxcomb, is it meet that you should also look you be an ass and a fool and a prating coxcomb in your conscience now?
I will speak lower.
I pray you and beseech you that you will.
Brother John Bates, is that the morning which breaks yonder?
I think it is. We have no great cause to desire the approach of day.
We see the beginning of the day yonder, but I fear we shall never see the end of it.
Who goes there?
A friend.
Under what captain serve you?
Under Sir Thomas Erpingham.
A good old commander. And a fine gentleman. I pray thee, what thinks he of our estate?
Even as men wrecked upon a sand that looked to be washed off at the next tide.
He has not told his thought to the king.
No. Nor is it not meet that he should. I think the king is but a man as I am. The violet smells the same to him as it doth to me. Therefore, in his nakedness, he appears but a man. His fears out of doubt be of the same relish as ours are.
He may show what outward courage he will, but I believe, cold as night as this, he'd wish himself in Thames up to his neck, and I would he were. And I'd buy him, and all of venture, so we would quit here.
I think the king would not wish himself anywhere but where he is.
Then I would he were here alone.
Methinks I could not die anywhere so contented as in the king's company, his cause being just and his quarrel honourable.
That's more than we know.
Aye, that's more than we should seek after. For we know enough, and we know we are the king's subjects. For if this cause be wrong, then our obedience to the king will wipe the crime from all of us.
But if the cause be not good, the king himself hath a heavy reckoning to make. When all those legs and arms and heads chopped off in a battle shall join together at the latter day and cry all. We died at such a place. Some swearing, some crying for a surgeon.
Some upon the wives left poor behind them. Some upon the debts they owe. Some upon the children rawly left.
I'm afeard there are few men die well that die in battle. For how can they charitably dispose of anything where blood is their argument? Now, if these men do not die well, it will be a black man for the king that led them to it.
So, if a son that is by his father sent about merchandise do sinfully miscarry upon the sea, the imputation of his wickedness by your rule should be imposed upon the father that sent him. But this is not so. The king is not bound to answer the particular endings of his soldiers, nor the father of his son, for they purpose not their deaths when they purpose their services. Besides, there is no king, be his cause never so spotless, can try it out with all unspotted soldiers. Every subject's duty is the king's, but every subject's soul his own.
'Tis true. Every man that die ill upon his own head. The king is not to answer for it.
I do not desire a king should answer for me. I am determined to fight lustily for him.
I heard him say he would not be ransomed.
Aye, he said so to make us fight more cheerfully. But when our throats are cut, he may be ransomed, and we're near the wife.
If I live to see it, I'll never trust his word after.
You pay him then. I'll never trust his word after. Come, 'tis a foolish saying.
Your approach is something too round. I would be angry with you if time were convenient.
Let a quarrel between us. If you live,
be friends, you English fools, be friends. We've French quarrelled enough.
Upon the king, let us our lives, our souls, our debts, our careful wives, our children, and our sins lay on the king. We must bear all. Oh, hard condition. Twin born with greatness, subject to the breath of every fool, whose sense no more can feel but his own ringing. What infinite heart's ease must kings neglect that private men enjoy? And what have kings that privates have not too? Save ceremony, save general ceremony. And what art thou, thou idle ceremony? What kind of God art thou that sufferest more of mortal griefs than do thy worshippers? What are thy rents? What are thy comings in? Oh, ceremony, show me but thy worth. What is thy soul, O adoration? Art thou aught else but place, degree, and form, creating awe and fear in other men, wherein thou art less happy being feared than they in fearing. What drink'st thou oft, instead of homage sweet, but poisoned flattery? Oh, be sick, great greatness, and bid thy ceremony give thee cure. Think'st thou the fiery fever will go out with titles blown from adulation? Will they give place to flexure and low bending? No. Thou proud dream that playest so subtly with a king's repose. I am a king that finds thee, and I know 'tis not the balm, the sceptre and the ball, the sword, the mace, the crown imperial, the interissued robe of golden pearl, the far-said title running for the king, the crown he sits on, nor the tide of pomp that beats upon the high throne of this world. No, not all these great ceremony, not all these laid in bed majestical, can sleep so soundly as a wretched slave, who with a body filled and vacant mind gets him to rest, crammed with distressful bread, never sees horrid night, the child of hell, but like a lackey sweats he in the eye of Phoebus, and all night sleeps in Elysium. Next day after dawn doth he rise, and help Hyperion to his horse, and follow so the ever-running year of profitable labour to his grave. And but for ceremony, such a wretch, winding up his days with toil and his nights with sleep, had the forehand advantage of a king. The slave, a member of the country's peace, enjoys it, but in gross brain little wots what watch a king keeps to maintain the peace, whose hours the peasant best advantages.
My liege, the nobles jealous by your absence seek through the camp to find you.
Good, my knight. Collect them all together at my tent. I'll be before thee. Oh, God of battles, steel my soldiers' hearts. Possess them not with fear. Take from them now the sense of reckoning, if the opposed numbers pluck their hearts from them. Not today, O Lord. Oh, not today. Think not upon the fault my father made in compassing the crown. I, Richard's body, have interred in you, and on it have bestowed more contrite tears than from it issued forced drops of blood. 500 poor have I in yearly pay, who twice a day their withered hands hold up toward heaven to power and blood. And I have built 2 chantries, where the sad and solemn priests sing still for Richard's soul. More will I do. Yet all that I can do is nothing worth, since that my penitence comes after all, imploring pardon.
My liege!
My brother Gos's voice. I know thy errand. I will be with thee. The day, my friends, and all things, stay for me.
Rouse thyself.
Where's the king? The king himself hath got to view their battle. Inviting men there full 3,000.
Why, that's 5 to 1.
Just fearful odds. Oh, if we had here but 10,000 of those men in England who do no work today!
What's he that wishes so? My cousin Westmoreland? No, my fair cousin. If we are marked to die, we are enough to do our country loss. And if to live, the fewer men, the greater share of honour, God's will, I pray thee, wish not one man more. Rather proclaim it, Westmoreland, through our host, that he who hath no stomach for this fight, let him depart, his passport shall be made, and crowns for convoy put into his purse. We will not die in that man's company, who fears our fellowship to die with us. This day is called the Feast of Crispian, and he who outlives this day and comes safe home shall stand a tiptoe when this day is named, and rouse himself at the name of Crispian. He who shall see this day and live old age shall yearly on this vigil feast his neighbours and say, tomorrow is St. Crispin. Then will he strip his sleeve and show his scars and say, these wounds I had on St. Crispin's day. Old men forget, yet all shall be forgot, but he'll remember with advantages the feats he did this day. Then shall our names, Harry the King, Bedford and Exeter, Warwick and Talbot, Salisbury and Gloucester, be in their flowing cups freshly remembered. This story shall the good man teach his son, and Crispin Crispian shall ne'er go by from this day till the ending of the world, but we in it shall be remembered. We few, we happy few, we band of brothers, for he today who sheds his blood with me shall be my brother, be he ne'er so vile. This day shall gentle his condition. And gentlemen in England now abed shall count themselves accursed they were not here, and hold their manhood's cheeks, while then he speaks that fought with us upon St. Crispin's day! Yeah!
The man whose mind is backward now!
That doth not wish more help from England, cuss!
God's will, my liege, but you and I, without more help, fight this royal battle! And so our scene must to the battle fly, where, oh, for pity, we shall much disgrace with 4 or 5 most vile and ragged foils, right ill-disposed in brawl ridiculous, the name of Agincourt. Yet sit and see, minding true things, by what their mockeries be.
Shame! Shame. Nothing but shame. Let us die in arms. Once more back again. We're enough yet living in the field to smother up the English in our homes. If any order might be sought apart, the devil take order now. Out to the front. Let life be short. That shame will be too long. Kill the boys! And the luggage! To the expressly against the Lord of our...
I was not angry since I came to France until this instant! Well, here comes the French herald, my liege! Oh, no, herald! Comes thou again for ransom!
No, great king! I come to thee for charitable license, that we may wander over this bloody field. For many of our princes, all the while lie slain, drowned and soaked in mercenary blood. O great king, give us leave to view the field in safety and dispose of the dead.
I tell thee truly, herald, I know not if the day be ours or no.
The day is yours.
Praised be God, and not our strength for it. What is that castle called that stands hard by?
They call it Agincourt.
Then call we this the field of Agincourt.
Your grandfather of famous memory, and please your majesty, and your great-uncle, the Black Prince of Wales, as I have read in the chronicles, fought a most brave battle here in France. The Welshmen did good service in a garden where leeks did grow, wearing leeks in their Monmouth caps, which, as your majesty know, to this hour is an honourable badge of their service. I do believe your majesty takes no scorn to wear the leek on St. David's Day.
I wear it for a memorable honour, for I am Welsh, you know, good countrymen.
All the water and all the wine could not wash your majesty's Welsh blood out of you, I can tell you. God bless it and preserve it, so long as they keep your loving grace and your majesty. By Jesu, I am your majesty's kinsman. I care not who knows it. I shall proclaim it to all the world. I need not be ashamed of your majesty, so praise God, so long as your majesty is an honest man.
God keep me so. Herald, are the dead numbered? This note doth tell me of 10,000 French that in the field lie slain. Of princes in this number, 126. Added to these, of knights, gallants, and esquires, 8,400. Of the which 500 were but yesterday dubbed knights. Here was a royal fellowship of death. And of the English dead, Edward, Duke of York, the Earl of Suffolk, Sir Richard Keithley, Davy Gam, Esquire, none else of name, and all of other men, but 25. Come, go we in procession to the village, and be it death proclaimed through our host to boast of this, or take that praise from God, which is his only.
And it please your majesty, is it not lawful to say how many is killed?
Aye, Captain. But with this acknowledgement, that God fought for us.
Yes, my conscience. He did us great good.
Do we all holy rites? Let the dead with charity be enclosed in clay, and then we to Calais, and to England then, where ne'er from France arrived such happy men.
News have I from London. Von Nell is dead. Oh, old I do wax. From these weary limbs all honour is cudgelled. Well, bored I'll turn.
To London I'll steal. And there I'll steal.
Peace to this meeting. And to our brother France, good health and fair time of day. Joy and good wishes to our most fair and princely cousin Catherine.
Right joyous are we to behold your face, most worthy brother, England. Fairly met, so are you, princes, English. We have but with a cursory eye or glance the articles. Pleaseth your grace to appoint some of your council to sit with us once more. We will suddenly pass the accept and peremptory answer.
Brother, we shall. Yet leave our cousin Catherine here with us. She is our capital demand, comprised within the full rank of our articles.
She hath good leave.
Fair Catherine, will you vouchsafe to teach a soldier terms, such as will enter at a lady's ear and plead his love suit to her gentle heart?
Your Majesty shall mock at me. I cannot speak your England.
Oh. Well, if you can love me soundly with your French heart, I should be glad to hear you confess it brokenly in your English tongue. Do you like me, Kate?
Pardonnez-moi, I cannot tell what is like me.
Well, an angel is like you, and you are like an angel.
Que dit-il? Que je suis semblable à les anges?
Oui, soif à ta grâce en style.
Bon Dieu, les langues des hommes sont pleines de tromperie.
What's that, she, my fair one? The tongues of men are full of deceit.
Oui, that the tongues of the man is be full of deceits. That is the princess.
The princess is better than the English woman. In faith, Kate, my wooing is fit for thy understanding. I know no ways of mincing it in love, but to say, I love thee. And then if you urge me further than to say, do you in faith, why, I wear out my suit. Oh, come your answer, in faith do, and so clap your hands in a bargain. What say you, lady?
Sauf votre honneur, me understand well.
Marry. Well, if you were to put me to verses, or to dance for your sake, Kate, why, you undid me. If I could win a lady from leapfrog, or by jumping onto my horse with my armour on my back, I should quickly leap into a wife. I could lay on like a butcher and sit jackanapes, never off. But before God, Kate, I cannot look greenly, nor gasp out my eloquence, nor have I any cunning in protestation. I speak to the plain soldier. If you can have me for this, then take me. If not, to say that I will die is true, but for thy love by the Lord now. Yet I love thee too. And so if thou canst have me, then take me, and take me, take a soldier. Take a soldier, take a king. And so what sayest thou then to my love? Speak fair. My fair, I pray thee.
Is it possible that I should love the enemy of France?
No, it's not possible you should love the enemy of France, Kate. But in loving me, you should love the friend of France. For I love France so much I would not part with a village of it. I would have it all mine. And Kate, when France is mine and I am yours, then yours is France, and you are mine.
I cannot tell. What is that?
No, Kate. Then I will tell thee in French. Quand j'ai la possession de France, et quand vous avec la possession de moi, well then, donc votre est France, et vous êtes mien. It is easy for me to conquer a kingdom than to speak so much French. I'll never move thee in French unless it be to laugh at me.
Sauf votre honneur. Le français que vous parlez est le meilleur, l'anglais que je parle.
No, in faith it's not, Kate. But dost thou understand this much English? Canst thou love me?
I cannot tell.
Can any of your neighbours tell, Kate? I'll ask them. By mine honour, I swear to thee, I love thee. by which honour I darest not swear that thou lovest me, but my blood begins to flatter me thou dost. Come, your dance, come it in broken music, for thy voice is music, and thy English broken. And so what sayest thou, Catherine, queen of all? Wilt thou have me?
That is as it shall please the Roman Père.
Nay, it shall please him well, Kate. It shall please him, Kate.
Then it shall also content me.
Upon that, I kiss your hand and call you my queen.
Laissez, monseigneur, laissez. Ma foi, je veux point que vous abaissez votre conjoint en bas sur la main d'une votre indigne serviture. Excusez-moi, je vous supplie, mon très puissant seigneur.
Then I will kiss your lips, Kate.
Les dames et demoiselles, pour être baissées devant le noce, il n'est pas de coutume de France.
Madam Interpreter, what says she?
That it not be the fashion for the ladies of France. I cannot tell what is better English.
To kiss.
Oui, vraiment.
It is not the fashion for ladies in France to kiss before they are married, would she say?
Oui, your majesty entend better que moi.
Oh, Kate. Nice customs curtsy to great kings. You and I cannot be confined within the weak list of a country's fashion. We are the makers of manners, Kate. Therefore, patiently and yielding, there is witchcraft in your lips, Kate. There is more eloquence in a sugar touch of them than in the tongues of the French council. Here comes your father.
We have consented to all terms of reason.
Thereupon, hand me your daughter.
Take her, fair son, and from her blood raise up issue to me, that the contending kingdoms of France and England, whose very shores look pale with envy of each other's happiness, shall cease their hatred, and this dear conjunction plant neighbourhood and Christian-like accord in their sweet bosoms, that war never advance his bleeding sword twixt England and fair France.
Thus far, with rough and all unable pen, our bending author hath pursued his story. In little room confining mighty men, mangling by starts the full course of their glory. Small time, but in that small how greatly lived this star of England. Fortune made his sword, with which the world's best garden he achieved, and of it left his son, imperial lord. Henry VI, in infant bands, crowned king of France and England, did this king succeed, whose state so many had the managing that they lost France and made his England bleed, which oft our stage hath shown, and for their sake, in your fair minds, let this acceptance take.